Good evening. Well, to start our program this evening, I would like to welcome branch manager of our South Trail branch, Heather McLean-LaPlante, to lead us in singing our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, our true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
This meeting is now called to order. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Ron Gibson, and I'm the chairman of the board of directors. And I'm very pleased to welcome you to our inaugural annual general meeting for Connect First Credit Union, bringing together members of our Chinook Financial and First Calgary Financial divisions. So if you're here for the Donald Trump rally, you're in the wrong room. Actually, you're in the wrong country. So tonight we have many special guests and credit union system representatives, and sometimes I actually take the time to introduce them all individually, but we actually have quite a few tonight. So I think I'm just going to say thank you all for coming this evening. I've also seen a few of our former directors and some former staff members, and we are very pleased to have you here tonight as well. So according to our bylaws for Connect First Credit Union, a quorum for an annual general meeting consists of 50 registered members. And last we counted, and I know there's been a few come in since, but our registration shows that we have 236 members and quite a number of guests as well. So there being a quorum of members present, our meeting may proceed. So again, thank you for being here tonight. So, to begin this evening, we would like to share a brief video highlighting some of our credit union's accomplishments in 2015.
Collectively, at Connect First Credit Union, we serve more than 100,000 members across 27 branches in 14 southern Alberta communities. We've been helping our members achieve their financial goals and dreams while working to strengthen communities for over 75 years. And that's something to be proud of. We have a mission to make money, make a difference, and a vision to be Alberta's neighborhood credit union. We have a strong foundation of core values that drive everything we do. We set out every day to think big, act local, take charge, and make banking easy. More than just words, our mission, vision, and values drive us forward. They're built on a strong foundation of our deep Alberta roots. We're proud of who we are, and we're all responsible for delivering on the promises we make.
All right. So let's get down to business. So all of you will have a member kit, hopefully the members, and you will find the rules of order for tonight in your member kits. There will be a question and answer period later in the meeting. So besides questions from the floor, we will also be taking questions from our social media sites or any written questions you would like to submit. So if you find this voting card in your package, the bottom part is your voting card, and you can't miss this yellow card. The top part has got a place for questions. So if you're more comfortable asking a question by writing it down, please feel free to do so. So in terms of some of our rules for tonight, to address the chair, you must be a member of our credit union. We would ask you to use a microphone and to clearly state your name and your branch. We want everybody to hear your questions, so make sure we get the microphone to you before you ask your question. And we would ask you to please restrict your questions to the sort of the general affairs of the credit union that would be of interest to all the members. If you have questions relating to your own personal account, we have lots of staff here and we will take care of you, so just raise your hand. Sometime this evening we'll get to you. So questions, when we do get to the question period, let's try to keep the questions sort of to broader questions about our credit union related to strategy and those types of things. For those of you watching by live video stream tonight, first of all, welcome. And you can submit your questions via our social media sites on Facebook and Twitter. And if you are on Twitter tonight, you can use our hashtag. It's hashtag Making Money Make a Difference. That's hashtag Making Money Make a Difference. If you would like to comment, make a comment about the AGM. So, okay, so our first motion tonight is to approve the rules of order. May I have a mover and a seconder approach one of the microphones? I guess we're going to have to bring the microphone to you. To approve the rules of order as presented in the member kits. And again, clearly state your name and branch. So can we have a mover to approve the rules of order tonight? Here we go.
Hi, Linda Coslin, Branch 110, and I move the motion to approve the rules of order.
Thank you, Linda. Can we have a seconder, please?
Kennedy, Branch
Joan
103.
Kemp, Branch 105, second the motion to approve the rule of order.
Okay, great. I think we got that. So any discussion? All in favor, and please use your voting card. Okay, thank you. Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. So also inside your member kits, you will find our annual general meeting agenda on page 1. Tonight we have a relatively straightforward agenda. We have no resolutions or bylaw changes to bring forward to the membership. So we're going to spend the majority of our time tonight reporting to you on 2015 and celebrating our results and also answering any questions you may have. So we need a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Can we have a mover for that, please?
Bill Harper, Branch 106. I approve the agenda as...
Bill, thank you very much. Do we have a seconder?
Kyle Center, Branch 102, and I second the motion.
Kyle, thank you. Any discussion on the agenda? All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? That motion is carried as well. So I would now like to introduce you to your board of directors. First of all, the board table officers, obviously myself, Ron Gibson as your chairman, Andrew Everell as vice chair. I'm going to ask our directors to please stand, be recognized. That's Andrew Everell. Stella Thompson as our board secretary. Sarah Arthurs. Michelle Canty. Judy Martin. Bob Petrick. Kevin Van Kunit. Doug Van Spronson. Bob Shearer. Carrie Tobert. Mary Manick, who could not be with us tonight, unfortunately. And finally, Barry Fullerton. Where's Barry? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2015 Board of Directors. And I would also like to welcome Peter Davis as our parliamentarian this evening. Peter is AVP of Government Relations for Alberta Credit Union Central, and I'm sure some of you recognize Peter. He served this role as parliamentarian for us a number of times in the past, and he's often called upon by credit unions to perform this role. So we're thankful he's once again agreed to do this for us tonight. So welcome, Peter. And on the stage with us tonight is also Paul Kelly, our Chief Executive Officer, and you will hear more from Paul shortly. Okay, so the next item to deal with is the approval of the minutes from last year's AGM. Last year our AGM was on March 15th, 2015, and the minutes of this meeting are located in your member kits as well. And when someone's ready, we need a motion to approve the minutes from March 15th, 2015.
Samson Lamb, Transit 119. I move to approve the minutes for the 2014.
Thank you, Sam. Do we have a seconder?
Valerie Rasmussen, Branch 128, I second the motion.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? That motion is carried. Okay, moving right along. So it is now my pleasure to ask our CEO, Paul Kelly, to the stage to give us his report for 2015. Paul.
Thank you, Ron. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. This is the truly first AGM for Connect First Credit. And today marks the 21st time that I've been privileged to be part of the team reporting to the members at the annual general meeting. And tonight we have much to celebrate. We started our first fiscal year on November 1st, 2014, with a fresh mandate from our members to create a new and exciting vision on how financial services can be delivered and should be delivered in Alberta. We also launched a new business model. Operating as Connect First Credit Union, we offer our members a full range of financial services delivered through First Calgary Financial in Calgary and Chinook Financial in Southern Alberta. While we're now a bigger and more sustainable organization, we have retained the local brands, decision-making, and the staff that our members know and trust. And most importantly, our unique business model retains our community-focused approach to banking. We tailor our financial products, services, and community investment to the specific needs of our members in Calgary through First Calgary Financial and rural Alberta through Chinook Financial. Now, unlike the Toronto-based banks or Alberta's government-owned bank, we have no conflict as to whose interests we serve. Our members are our owners. We have no other shareholders to appease. We exist solely to serve the needs of our 100,000 members and their families. I'll now provide highlights of our 2015 operating and financial performance, and again, the comparatives are to the combined First Calgary Financial and Chinook Credit. So you received Connect First Management's discussion and analysis and 2015 audited financial statements when you registered tonight. I intend to provide a brief overview of our financial results and answer any specific questions during the question and answer period later in the meeting. So we started fiscal 2015 with caution and modest growth expectations. On the economic front, oil prices had been falling, the provincial economy was slowing with a rising deficit, and we were facing record low interest rates. Operationally, we quite frankly expected it would take some time to realize the full economic benefits of the merger of Chinook and First Calgary Financial. We also had the objective to fully integrate our new credit union by the end of the year. Well, the economy was even worse than forecast, but on the operational side, I'm very pleased to report that the positive support of our members and the hard work and dedication of our team translated into financial performance well above our expectation. Our total book of business, which is all our loans, deposits, and wealth management assets, increased by $770 million to $8.5 billion. That's an increase of 9%. Loan growth was more than 8%, rising by $267 million. Meanwhile, deposits increased by more than 9.5%, rising $330 million. Now, this is very strong growth, well above our historical averages, and considered an outstanding achievement when we operated in a very weak and slowing provincial economy. Now, as always, we grew conservatively and responsibly, maintaining a capital base of more than $300 million, which is well above our regulatory requirements. Our net income in 2015 was $18.9 million. That's up significantly, by 17% from the previous year. This strong profitability allowed us to pay a 4.2% dividend to our members on their common shares, which is a great return in today's low interest rate environment. Bless you. Under our new business model, we remain committed to investing in the communities where our members and employees live and work. Our community investments include local partnerships, sponsorships, and grants. With each of these activities, our aim is to draw on the overall expertise and resources of our credit union to address those specific issues that matter most to our members and their local community. Now, our employees are a large part of our community involvement. Every year they volunteer countless hours of their time in support of local grassroots programs. And our community investment activities are a true reflection of our credit union and the cooperative principles. We know that local banking should be the cornerstone of every vibrant community. And for us, that means understanding and engaging our communities at the grassroots level so we can add the most value. When it comes to delivering our banking products and services, our top priority is to make banking easy for you. But banking also needs to focus on personal advice, tailored support, and individual service to members when and where they need it. So in 2015, we rolled out a number of new technologies and services, such as Deposit Anywhere. You take a photo of your check and presto, it's deposited, as well as improved functionality for our online users. But as well, we also provide personal face-to-face service for our members at 27 branches in 11 communities. And every member gets ding-free banking at any credit union ATM in Canada. That's no ATM surcharges. So throughout 2015, a key objective was to seamlessly integrate the operations of our two legacy organizations, First Calgary Financial and Chinook Credit Union, with minimal impact to our members. We set the ambitious goal to get the job done in 1 year, which was a very big ask of our employees. So they were pushed to the limit at times with heavy workloads and tight deadlines. And despite that, they delivered beyond expectations, and we completed the full integration of our credit union by year-end. So it's especially gratifying for me to see our 600 employees come together as a new team while maintaining the high levels of professional and personal service in such a demanding environment. And our new culture is emerging and is taking the best elements from Chinook and First Calgary. So once again, our employees proved to be our secret weapon. And this has been validated externally, as we were recognized in 2015 as one of Canada's most admired corporate cultures, one of Canada's best managed companies, a platinum member, and a top employer in Alberta. So, I've discussed how we're acting local and making banking easy for our members. I'd now like to speak about another value that defines our new credit union, and that's thinking big. And thinking big is a key part of our strategy for remaining competitive in the financial marketplace. Why? Because the best practices we can develop for Connect First Credit Union can be used to build relationships with new members and with other like-minded credit unions throughout Alberta. Last year, we welcomed members from Pegasus Credit Union and Calgary Health Employees Credit Union to the Connect First family. And over the next 3 years, we plan to expand across southern Alberta. We will look for communities where no potential merger partners operating, and and where we have the opportunity to profitably expand our financial services and lines of business. By thinking big and acting local, I'm very confident we will continue to change the way financial services are delivered across Alberta. Now, is this a big challenge? Absolutely. But our staff has demonstrated they are overachievers throughout the past year, and I'm confident we will continue to do so. So I'd like to personally thank each employee for your commitment, your dedication in supporting and serving our members through a challenging yet rewarding year. I'd also like to thank our board of directors for their leadership and support. They have come together as a unified governing body and have represented your interests at all times over the past year. And lastly, I thank you, our members, for supporting our organization and our new vision for the future. Together, we are making money make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. And you'll have the opportunity to ask Paul any questions a little later on this evening. So, we're also very pleased to have the presidents of our two regions here tonight to address the members. So first, I would like to call upon Scott Haddon, President of Chinook Financial.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Connect First Credit Union Annual General Meeting. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate our success from 2015. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate our partners at First Calgary, the administrative teams at Connect First, and all of my colleagues on the executive team for an outstanding first year. I cannot tell you what a monumental achievement it is to pull so many processes and practices together in 1 year. Congratulations to you all, you did it. Thank you, Paul, for your trust in me to look after our valued members and the Chinook Financial team. I'm excited about the future for our Chinook employees. In addition to our 11 Chinook branches, our employees will have more opportunities to grow and expand their careers at an additional 16 branches in the city of Calgary and any of the administrative departments at Connect First Credit Union. I'm even more excited for the members of Chinook Financial with the expanded service delivery throughout Southern Alberta and the city of Calgary. Our members also enjoyed outstanding returns on common shares and of course the investment share offering in early 2016. Both of these are big wins for the members of Chinook. Also, we can look forward to state-of-the-art technology today and into the future. This year we introduced Deposit Anywhere, so that means in Chinook Financial Division our members were depositing checks from their combines, tractors, and during calving season. Chinook Financial's commitment and involvement in our communities was and is amazing. The team at Chinook Financial feels a responsibility to support our communities both monetarily and by giving their own personal time and volunteering. Over the past year, I visited with several mayors within the Chinook Financial Division, and community involvement and volunteering from the Chinook team is the first thing they comment on. During 2015, some of the larger items Chinook Financial supported were the Lions Regional Outdoor Rink in Strathmore. $20,000 was donated toward this project. I drive by the rink almost every day and I always see several kids out enjoying the new facility. The Badlands Community Facility in Drumheller, our ongoing support this year included a $25,000 donation. This beautiful facility enriches the lives of the residents of Drumheller and the surrounding area through recreational and cultural events. The Cantera Safe House, the Brookston District Women's Safe Shelter Society in Brooks. $20,000 was donated towards the construction costs for the new Cantera facility and to assist with creating a pool to help women in crisis access funds to obtain ID and birth certificates. Aside from the donation, Chinook pledged to provide personalized service to help the women in need become more confident in handling their own finances. This involvement speaks to what we're all about, making money make a difference. With our branches being located in rural Alberta and our commitment to act local in 2016 and beyond, you'll be seeing an increased focus on agriculture. Chinook Financial would not be what it is today without the contributions of our agricultural community. One of the areas we're very proud of is the Wealth Management Division. We have a great team and our members continue to show confidence in this area of our business. An initiative that has gained momentum over the past year is our estate planning program. Small businesses and agricultural enterprises can make plans to transition their businesses and farms to the next generation. Our partners at Credential have been very supportive of this program that has been piloted by Chinook Financial, and they will take what has been learned over the past year to other credit unions across Canada. I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of our team at Chinook Financial. Mergers, as everyone is aware, are not easy and can obviously bring forward a lot of changes that need to be supported and handled by our staff. Our Chinook team worked through what was a very challenging year, all in the spirit of making things better for our members. Your engagement was outstanding, and all this while achieving excellent growth and outstanding financial results. Thank you again. I'm very proud of all of your efforts. Most importantly, a special thank you to the members of Chinook Financial for your continued support and trust in the new model created by Connect First Credit Union. This trust is not something we take lightly, and my promise to you is we will continue to provide the products and services that you require to succeed. Let's continue to work together and show the credit union world what collaboration and cooperation looks like, and how this credit union model benefits you, our members. In 2016, we look forward to helping our members make money make a difference by continuing to act local in all of our communities in southern Alberta. On behalf of myself and the entire team at Chinook Financial, thank you for a successful 2015. Good evening. Thanks.
Now I'd like to invite Shelley Vandenberg to the stage, President of First Calgary Financial. Shelley.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming this evening. So let me start off with a question. Do you know what the most valuable commodity on the earth is? Any guesses? It's your time. No matter what you do, you never seem to have enough of it. Everyone is time-strapped, time-poor, time-starved. Choose your cliche. So think about it. The pace of life today is downright exhausting. Between your job, your kids, your friends, your family, and trying to walk your dog, you are so busy that you spend an average of an hour each day at work, working on your personal business, including your banking. At First Calgary Financial, our focus will be finding you time and making banking easy, simple, and clear. We understand that you're busy enough without having to spend more time and more of your valuable time thinking about your banking. We believe that taking the difficulty out of banking will give you back time. Time to spend with your family, time to work on your career or your business, and time to work on things that are most important to you. In addition to making banking easy, we will also be focusing on bringing our mission to life. Make money, make a difference. You may be thinking, what does this mean? Well, we have a short video to show you that demonstrates how our teams in Southern Alberta made a difference in the lives of over 80 members by paying their bills over the holiday season, and in most cases, when they really needed it the most. The video.
With Santa hats and on with good cheer, our employees set out to brighten the holidays. 81 lucky members across 13 Albertan communities this holiday season.
Our mission is to make money, make a difference. Our mission is to make money, make a difference.
On the 12th day of Christmas, we gave our members glee.
Today we'd like to pay your bill. Today we are going to pay some of your bills.
12 Visa payments waived.
Really? Yeah.
Holy cow. Gee, I've never seen this thing here. 11 Mastercards paid.
I'd like to say thank you. We would love to pay this bill for you today.
10 in-max payments made. Really?
Oh, very okay with that.
Well, that's beautiful.
Oh, that is just beautiful.
9 rental months waived.
I don't have the money in my account to pay for it. Oh, first year. I don't know. $500
8 mortgages and utilities paid.
How's that sound?
We're cool.
7 more credit cards waived.
Under your building.
6 telecom bills repaid.
Being revealed today, our collect pocket like $250 back in the house.
So why are we receiving out from the telephone bill?
5 more electric bills paid. I keep off my heart. 4 family holidays saved.
Yes. Everything gone. Your property taxes are done.
3 payday loans staved. 2 car payments waived. And 1 foreclosure saved. With today's economy oh so very unhappy, these thoughtful gestures help provide peace of mind. We're making money make a difference. Happy holidays from all of us at Connect First Credit Union.
Watching that always makes me smile. There's a little part there that I still get a little teary-eyed. Now that is making money make a difference. Some companies are driven to do good for others. These people see needs not being met in the community. They bring people together to make the community stronger. They see a wrong or a deficiency and they want to fix it. Well, this is First Calgary Financial. Social issues in Calgary such as homelessness, poverty, and lack of financial literacy cannot be solved on their own without the support and leadership of companies to deliver social benefit in addition to their traditional products and services. Nonprofit organizations are forever challenged to maintain a level of funding that enables them to solve long-term, complex social issues, and First Calgary is proud to lead in these areas. I am pleased to share a few initiatives that our region has been working on. Examples of how we have invested in these opportunities include corporate donations, sponsorships, fundraising. We've created employee volunteer opportunities. We've created awareness of these social issues. We've been involved in action committees. We've discounted banking fees. And we've even provided low or no interest financing on a number of these projects. And the list goes on. So the first initiative I'd like to share is our innovative Cash Crunch loan. As many of you are aware, the payday lending industry is hurting Calgarians who are financially vulnerable. Bad debt cycles from high interest loans cause unnecessary stress on the most disadvantaged population. This issue has never been more relevant than the current economic instability in Alberta. Over the past year, as part of our partnership with Momentum, a microloan pilot project has been developed to provide short-term, affordable loans as an alternative to payday lending and increase the financial stability of Calgarians with high debt or are living in poverty. We believe that everyone deserves access to fair savings and loan products. With our pilot, Momentum participants are able to access affordable small loans at interest rates significantly below what the payday lenders charge. We are helping them to get out of debt sooner. We're putting money back in their pockets so they can take care of their families. The second initiative is with Accessible Housing Residential Accessible Design Program. Did you know that there are approximately 92,000 Calgarians identified as having a disability that impacts their mobility, and 40% of those are very concerned about their ability to pay for housing. And only 3% of affordable housing in Calgary is accessible. First Calgary is very proud to partner with Accessible Housing. This program opens doors to homes that are accessible and affordable for people with limited mobility and are living on low incomes. The third initiative, Hall Services Youth at Risk. So imagine a society in which children and their families are free from mental and behavioral challenges. Imagine if you could create an opportunity for children to have hope, health, and happiness. Well, in Calgary, an organization called Hall Services works with children who have experienced chaotic, trouble-filled lives. The majority of adult social issues that plague our community, such as crime, addictions, mental health issues, and homelessness, can be traced back to their childhood adverse experiences and development. First Calgary Financial is also very proud to have provided the construction financing to build a new secured services building in the city that will be used for the treatment of children facing significant mental and behavioral challenges. I'm extremely pleased to report that this project is now complete. The building is open, and the grand opening was last week, March the 9th. In closing, I would like to thank and personally thank all our members for their business. I also want to personally thank all our employees in the First Calgary region for their hard work, and they work hard every single day to provide the best experience that they can for our members to meet their needs. I am always inspired truly by their passion, their motivation, and it is because of you that I have such great confidence in our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. It's now my pleasure to introduce my fellow board member, Andrew Ebro. Andrew is the chairman of our governance committee, vice chairman of the board, and Andrew and I have worked very closely together over the past year, being the former chairs of First Calgary Financial and Chinook Credit Union. So it's really been a pleasure to work with Andrew closely over the past year. So he's going to share some of our duties tonight in terms of giving you our governance report.
Thanks, Ron. Good evening. I would like to briefly draw attention to your member kit. So everyone received one of these when they came in, and the board committee reports that are contained within. The Alberta Credit Union Act requires that we annually make our Audit and Finance Committee and Risk Committee reports public. The remainder of the reports we share with our members in the spirit of transparency. When you came in, you received a copy of the 2015 financial report. But in your member kit, you will find the following reports. There's a copy of the report from our auditors, KPMG. The report from our Audit and Finance Committee, chaired by Kevin Van Conant. The report from our Risk Committee, chaired by Michelle Kenton. The report from the Nominations Committee, chaired by Barry Fullerton. And finally, your Board of Directors 2015 Accountability Report. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. And we're going to ask Andrew back up in a minute to announce our election results. Well, this is my opportunity as board chair to say a few words about the governance side of our credit union. As you've already heard tonight, we are off to a tremendous start as Connect First Credit Union. And I'm not going to repeat the achievements from 2015. I would like to highlight one performance measure that we use and that we watch very closely as a board and management team, and that's our member satisfaction score. So based on regular member surveys that we do, I'm very pleased to report that we achieved a very high member satisfaction score, exceeding our target in our first year of operation as Connect First. So if as a member you were not disrupted by our merger in the first year, then mission accomplished. The concept of Connect First Credit Union is simple. To be large enough to meet the future needs of our members and to do so in a way that maintains the local service and community focus that are fundamental to who we are. You know, this is a time of many challenges and opportunities for Canadian credit unions. Record low interest rates that of course have lasted longer than anyone predicted. Significant changes in the way Canadians manage their financial affairs and access financial products, ever-increasing regulation, not to mention the challenging economic environment that we currently face in Alberta. But being a larger, more diversified credit union better enables us to meet these challenges and to take advantage of the opportunities presented by a rapidly changing marketplace for financial services. 2015 has already demonstrated to us the benefits of our merger and the operating model we have created with Connect First Credit Union. 2015 was also a very busy year for us in terms of governance activities. And without getting into too much detail, suffice to say that we completely rebuilt our governance structure, taking the best of what we saw from our two legacy credit unions. So we put a tremendous amount of work into rebuilding our governance. And I believe we have set a very high bar in terms of our governance standards. And I would like to thank all of the board members and management resources for their excellent work over the past year. Our credit union is committed to encouraging diversity of gender, age, ethnicity, and regional representation on our board of directors. And in the future, we intend on using all the tools we can to encourage this diversity, such as proactively seeking director candidates and using our candidate endorsement process to highlight the skills, experience, and diversity that we are seeking on our board. While our bylaws do not require proportional representation from our two regions, we are committed to the principle of maintaining balanced regional representation on our board in the future. Over the past year, our board and management team developed a new strategic plan, and we are very excited about how this new plan is already being put into action. And there's lots of evidence of that tonight on the posters and the speeches and up on the screen. Our vision is to be Alberta's neighborhood credit union, and we have ambitious plans to expand our membership and geographic service area over the next 10 years. We have developed a very unique and appealing model, and we look forward to opportunities to discuss our new model with other Alberta credit unions. In closing, I urge you to get involved in our credit union. Participate in one of our community initiatives. Tell your friends and family about the credit union difference and the great things our credit union is doing, and you've heard about tonight just a few of them. And tell our elected officials at all levels that credit unions are a vital part of our financial system. And by the way, some of you will be aware that credit unions were mentioned in a very positive way in last week's provincial speech from the throne, where our government indicated its intention to, quote, modernize and strengthen Alberta's credit union legislation this coming fall to support small and medium-sized business members in our communities. So that's very, very encouraging. And so this is a very opportune time to tell our story to our provincial representatives. Finally, a special thank you to our employees who have worked incredibly hard over the past year to make Connect First Credit Union a reality, and for the tremendous level of service that they give to our members each and every day. I believe that banking is about more than money. It's about positively impacting the lives of those around us. And I'm sure that many of you share that sentiment. Working together, we are making money make a difference in the lives of our members and the communities we serve. Thank you all for being part of the Connect First story. All right, I'm going to invite Andrew back on stage to share the election results with you.
The Board of Directors of Connect First Credit Union continually strives to improve its governance practices. It is our goal to have a board that represents the diversity of our membership, as well as seeking candidates with skills and expertise that enhance the board. This year, the Nominations Committee sought out candidates with knowledge, experience, and expertise in one or more of the following areas: risk and compliance, executive and senior management experience, community engagement, and advancement. Following the nominations deadline, eligibility requirements were verified. The Nominations Committee followed a structured interview process with all director candidates to gather consistent data and understand how candidates met or did not meet the published recruitment skills and expertise. They also used a rigorous scoring and assessment process to maintain objectivity and ensure they recommended through endorsement qualified candidates to the membership. Our endorsement principles were used to identify nominees whose values, interests, experience, and expertise would further strengthen the board to the membership. Director candidates endorsed by the nominations committee had the word endorsed adjacent to their name in all elections materials. 7 eligible members put their names forward for election to our board of directors. Our annual director elections were conducted by mail-in ballot and electronic voting. From February 1st to March 4th, members who were signed up for and actively using their online banking could place an electronic ballot. Members who were not signed up for or were not active on their online banking received the 2016 Direction Election Guide and ballot in the mail with a postage paid return envelope. This year, over 88,000 members were eligible to vote. Over 3,000 ballots were returned and counted under the supervision of our external auditor, KPMG, and our internal audit team. I would like to thank all the candidates for running in the election, and I'm pleased to announce that elected to the Connect First Credit Union's Board of Directors are Bob Petrick, Courtney Hare, Ron Gibson, and Sarah Arthurs. Please join me in congratulating our newly elected directors. This evening, we also have to say farewell with heartfelt thanks to several retiring directors. Diana Andrews, Judy Martin, Murray Minnick, and Sabina Nasi. As part of the merger process, the size of our board for the first year was 15 directors, but it is being reduced to 12 members this year. All of these directors announced their intention to not seek re-election for another 3-year term. Their individual and collective contributions to Connect First Credit Union, its legacy credit unions, as well as the Alberta credit union system were significant and enduring. Please join me in thanking Diana, Judy, Murray, and Sabine.
Thank you, Andrew. And I would also like to welcome Courtney to our board, and I would like to thank all of the candidates for running in the election this year. It is a fairly significant time commitment, and we appreciate all of the candidates that ran this year. I think we had 7 candidates, so that was great. We do need a motion to destroy the ballots now that the election is complete. So may I have a mover and a seconder to make a motion for the destruction of the ballots?
Norm Christensen, Shaughnessy Branch 114, I move to destroy the ballots.
Thank you, Norm. We need a seconder as well.
Jim Chisholm, Branch 282, I second that.
Thank you, Jim. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you very much. Before we move into the question and answer period, I'm going to ask Paul Kelly to come to the stage just to take a moment and introduce the executive leadership team of Connect First Credit Union. So, Paul, can you do that? Then we'll move to the question and answer period. So, think about your questions. There's still time to write it down on the form if you want to submit it that way, or if you prefer just to stand up and we'll get a mic over to you. We'll get to your questions in just a moment.
By the way, this has nothing to do with our new government power. We're not trying to in any way persuade that for our new credit legislation. The executive team are in the front row here, and I asked them to stand as I introduce them. We have Keith Richard, who's our Chief Risk Officer. Shelley Vandenberg, President of First Guard Financial, you met earlier. Jackie Barber, who's Senior Vice President of Shared Service. Scott Haddon, who you also met earlier, who's the President of Sherwood Financial. Sandy Kay, who's our Senior Vice President, Finance and Administration. And lastly, we have Catherine Norton, who's Senior Vice President, Information Technology. Your senior executive team.
So we're just going to take a minute and go down in front here with the mic. So as I mentioned, you have to be a member to ask a question, and please keep your questions to general interest tech questions relating to our credit union. And once again, if you have questions about your own personal affairs, your own account, any issues that you're having, we've got a ton of people here that can help you with that. That's not for the question and answer period. So I'm going to move down and we'll start taking questions.
Make sure we get on our live stream. The first question has come from our live stream, from an anonymous member. So, that's what happens when you're on the internet. What are some of the key benefits of this new model to the First Calgary and Chinook regions and their members? Yeah, so it is a unique model. It's the first in Alberta where we created a credit union that retained the local brands. So Chinook Financial, First Calgary Financial. And there's a lot of benefits. And in fact, we went through the merger process. We very much looked at other alternatives. In fact, we have to merge. What's the purpose of the merger? Primarily, what's the benefit to the members? And there's several benefits. One is simply we're a larger credit union. And in the world of financial services today, you need scale. The ability for us to invest in technology. And good examples of that are deposit anywhere. Again, where you can take a picture with your smartphone, deposit a check. As a large credit union, we were able to invest in that technology, provide in Alberta, the first credit in Alberta to provide that technology, both in the Chinook region as well as in the First Calgary region. So that's a benefit. For our members, for example, from the Chinook region, when you come to Calgary, previously, where would you bank, where would you use an ATM? You're now part of the Connect First family. When you come to Calgary, you have 27 ATMs, 16 branches, all of which you can use. For Chinook members, we have a contact center, which we'll be rolling out for the Chinook region. The ability to call somebody during after hours on the weekend to get banking information. So a lot of operational things, I think, benefit the members of both credit unions. And again, at the end of the day, we plan this model to expand throughout the province. We think it's a unique model. The fact we retain our local brands, people know Chinook, they know First Calgary. We strive to make sure banking is easy in both regions. There are differences when you think about the rural communities we serve in Chinook in the city of Calgary, and we're able to tailor those services, those products to members in each of the two regions.
I would just add to that being big in and of itself never was our objective. The idea, as I mentioned in my remarks, was we need to be big enough as a credit union. We've got lots of challenges out there, but more importantly, there's lots of opportunities. As you all know, the way you do your banking changes almost every month. And as a credit union, we need to make those investments in order to provide state-of-the-art technology to all of our members. So being big enough is important so we can compete, so we can provide those types of services, but we have gone to great care to try to do this in a way that we maintain what's really key to being a credit union, the essence of a credit union, and that's the local service, the community involvement. So that's a huge part of our model, is finding a way to get bigger, and we hope to grow over the next 10 years, as I mentioned, but trying to do it in a way that we don't lose any of that essence of what we are as a credit union. We don't want to be a bank.
So, do we have any questions? Yes, sir.
Some time ago, the credit union abandoned those of us who live in Forest Lawn and that area. And I just wondered when or if they ever considered returning now to the heavier population.
Yes, so the question is, in 1996, I believe, so it's quite a while ago, First Calgary had a branch in the Forest Lawn area. We relocated, and there were a number of reasons back then. Primarily, our landlord was giving us a lot of trouble. And we frankly had difficulty renewing the lease. The building wasn't being kept up to our standards. We had lots of member complaints. So we moved the location basically around the corner to Northgate. So it's about a a couple miles away, but it's not in Forest Lawn. We continue to service members from the Forest Lawn area through our Northgate branch. So again, it's a decision we made 20-odd years ago. In terms of whether we're coming back there, any other community, both in the Chinook region and First Calgary, we do have a branching strategy, but again, the banking business is changing. Canadians are changing the way they're doing banking. They're primarily doing banking on the computer. More and more they're doing banking on their cell phone. So what's the future of a branch? And the future of the branch is going to be less and less transactions at a counter, more and more conversations about your retirement, kids' savings plans, about investments. That's the conversation that's going to be happening in the branch in the future. So we have to decide within Calgary and the Chinook region, how do we reconfigure our branches? How do we continue to offer that personal service, but realizing the reality of banking is changing. And fewer people are going to need the counter service that they have today, but they're still going to need a place to come talk to us about financial advice and their financial future. So specifically, I can't tell you whether Forest Lawn would be one of the areas we come back to, but again, as we look at Calgary, we're very careful to make sure that we have appropriate coverage. We have 16 branches in the city of Calgary, and Calgary's growing, of course. You look at the deep south and the north now, there's lots of new areas we have to look at as well. But I believe that, in fact, the future of banking is going to be very much the technology we can provide our members to make sure you can do your banking where and when you want to do it.
Any other questions? So while you're thinking of your question, I'm going to ask Paul a question from the membership. So Paul, tonight we've talked quite a bit about 2015, and we had a great year, first year for our new credit union. But we continue to hear pretty bad news on the television about our economy, job losses. We know oil and gas is still struggling. Can you just comment briefly for us about how are we doing so far in 2016? We're well into our 2016 fiscal year as a credit union. And how does this type of economic environment affect our credit union? What are the impacts?
Yeah, so I think the biggest impact for us as a financial institution is obviously the economy. We're based in southern Alberta. We're heavily exposed. In fact, we're only exposed to Alberta. That's our only marketplace. But one of the things that we have not done as a credit union, and typically we like to lend to small businesses and members, we haven't lent to the oil and gas industry. So interestingly, we've missed the upside. So over the last 10 years, when oil and gas has been booming, we haven't been there. We haven't been lending to oil rigs and service companies and drilling. That sort of thing hasn't been part of the portfolio of First Calgary and Chinook. So as a result of that, as we've seen now a lot of struggles in the oil patch, specifically for financial institutions that have lent directly to that sector, we haven't done that. So again, we lend to individuals for their mortgages, small businesses. Typically it's secured by a hotel or an office building. So in terms of the exposure to oil and gas directly, we have very little. Okay. So in fact, in the first quarter of 2016, which ended last February, our financial results were right on target. In fact, our year-to-year, our month-to-month comparison to last year was about the same. We've been quite cautious though in terms of lending, so our lending growth is slower than it was last year, and that's been on purpose. I do think there will be an impact. I mean, there's been arguably 100,000 people have been laid off in the oil and gas industry. A number of those will be members of either Chinook or First Calgary. We've been quite proactive to work with those members in terms of those that are having financial difficulty or will have financial difficulty. So we're in a very difficult economic environment. There's no doubt about that. We aren't exposed to oil and gas. You won't be seeing a huge provision on an oil company that we finance that went bankrupt. But it will be challenging times for Albertans, our members, over the next couple of years. And we want to be very proactive working with those members to make sure we're their financial advisor and we help them through that rocky time.
Okay, so we have a couple of written questions here. The first one is, can the credit union afford a 0.5% interest increase on member deposits? I'll let you take that one.
Phew, 0.5%. Yeah, so, and I mentioned earlier, again, we are owned by the membership. So at the end of the day, the profit we retain on behalf of the members. The profit we forego, we give to the members. We at First Calgary made a decision about 5 years ago to provide a no-fee checking account to all our members, called No Fees for Me. So in fact, we previously gave a rebate. So you pay your service fee, at the end of the year, we pay you a rebate via dividend. We decided the best way to do it was in fact to have a zero fee account, which has been a tremendous growth for the credit union. We provide a dividend. Once we make profit, it goes into our retained earnings, and the board makes a decision how much of that we return back to the member. Again, if you're banking with another bank or an Alberta government-owned bank, you don't get a dividend. You don't have that opportunity. So again, in terms of pricing, we try and keep our prices for both loans and deposits at market. We're never too high, we're never too low, we're always on market. We watch it on a daily basis, hourly basis. So when you come in for a mortgage, a loan, when you come in for a GIC or a registered retirement program plan, we will be at market. Where the benefit comes to you for being an owner is you're going to get a dividend. Last year you got a 4.2% dividend. We offer investment shares. We put a 5% dividend on the investment share. And if you have a checking account, there's no fees for me, you pay no service charge. So that's the value proposition we give to the members relative to the banks we compete with.
Yeah, and I would add to that as well. That's something we've changed over the years is some of you long-term members will recall, we used to have a fairly complex formula for how we determine a patronage dividend. And the feedback we got on that was, A, I don't understand the calculation, and B, often the amount of the dividend was relatively small. And it got deposited in the account and nobody noticed it. So ways we've tried to find to add value to the membership are exactly what Paul has talked about. One is through no-fee banking. The other one is that as members, we all have the opportunity to buy common shares, and occasionally we have an opportunity to buy investment shares, and we just had a very successful investment share offering for Connect First Credit Union. And that is another way that you can participate in the success of our credit union. So this past year, for all of the investment share series, which go back A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I think, what did we just do, the G? Everybody got 5% last year, and I believe the year before, and I think the lowest I've ever gotten is 5% as an investment shareholder. Common shares, we all have the opportunity as members to buy up to a limit of common shares, and this past year we were able to pay 4.2% dividend. Part of that dividend we pay on common shares. Our formula, part of it is a fixed rate, and part of it is based on the success of our credit union given year. So those are two very tangible ways that we're trying to give back to members, and all of us deposit holders, and I'm one of them, have suffered through a very long period of time of low interest rates. So I feel for you, we feel for you, and we try to be very competitive on the interest rates. And always look at the specials too, look at the step-ups and the different products at both credit unions. But one of the other ways we try to give back is through these investment share and common share dividends, which I think have been a real win for our members. Okay, so I've got another question.
Okay,
I'll go first. And this is an interesting one. Would the credit union lobby the federal government in bringing back the $10,000 limit on TFSAs? And I would certainly love to see that myself. So it sounds like Paul wants to answer it, and that's something that maybe I should better answer it, and then I'll...
I think you know my response. So one of the things that's happened over the past year is we've created, as Credit Unions in Canada, we've created a new organization called CCUA, which is the Canadian Credit Union Association. And its mandate is quite succinct. It's really to be the voice of credit unions in Ottawa. And frankly, over the past 5-10 years, we've had difficulty lobbying for credit unions, getting credit unions' voice heard. There's over 5 million Canadians that are credit union members. And frankly, we've gotten a short shift from our federal government. We had a tax advantage, which they've removed. They're not treating us equitably with banks, for example. When you receive an investment share or common share dividend, they treat that as if it's interest. Where the banks, if you receive a dividend from a bank, they get better tax treatment, treated as a dividend. That's just unfair. So we are, through the Credit Union Association of Canada, we are lobbying specifically to the government on those areas that are unfair to credit unions, and taxation is one of them. On top of that, and we've been joined by the banks on this, clearly the idea of removing or setting the limit for TSFAs down to 5,000 from 10,000 was an aggressive move. And they targeted and said, well, it's for rich people only. Well, we see the number of our members that invest in TSFAs, and it's not just the rich. And again, from a policy point of view, we think it's counterproductive. As Canadians need to save for retirement, it doesn't have to simply be focused on registered plans. TSFAs hold an important part in anyone's investment portfolio, and certainly we, through our Canadian Association, will be lobbying the government to bring the 10,000 limit back.
And by the way, Paul is on the board, represents us on the board of the new Canadian Central. It's something I'm very excited about. I think we have maybe not been there when we should be as a credit union system in Canada, and I think the restructuring of our Canadian Central has a lot of promise for us. And by the way, another way that our credit union cooperates with other credit unions is through what we call the large credit union, we call it the Large Credit Union Conference, but it's really an organization where the largest, 15 or so credit unions get together. So some of the technology wins that we've had and the new products that we've been able to deliver to members, and we've got quite a few exciting ones in the pipeline, are coming through that large credit union group in Canada. So we work with many of the other larger credit unions. So that's great. I mean, as credit unions, we are cooperating with each other in this area of technology and other areas.
So we have a follow-up to that, huh?
To this point in time, do you feel that you're getting a better hearing in Ottawa than you did under the previous regime?
From a political point of view, I'd say, no, in terms of Liberals are brand new, right? And we're just trying to find out who the players are. In terms of the way the credit unions are structured to lobby, we're in a much better position. We have new leadership there. We have very specific issues that we're dealing with the government. We're getting receptivity from the federal government in terms of our issues. But the Liberal government's brand new. And us and every other organization in Canada is trying to feel out the new government where they have the ability to move and listen. So it's early days on that. But I can tell you, as credit unions, we're far better structured to make our point, to impress our point, to get in front of the politicians and the bureaucrats and argue our case than we would have been 5 years ago.
And I think it's important that we as individual members take every opportunity we can. I think for a lot of years we were pretty quiet as credit union members and pretty happy. But I think we need to take every opportunity, wherever you're talking to, be it provincial, federal, municipal representatives, to tell our story and tell our representatives why credit unions are an important part of our financial system. We have very strong chartered banks, and there's some benefit to that, I guess, in terms of stability, but a very important part of our Canadian landscape for financial services. And a way that we keep the banks in line is by having a very strong credit union system. So, but we need to tell our elected representatives that, and I think for a long time we weren't. But we are encouraged with the new governments, we're encouraged with the new bodies we have as credit unions to represent ourselves better.
So I have a question, I'll read it verbatim. What is going on with the investment department of First Calgary? Advisors have left, communication with investors has been minimal. Communication is so important. And I agree, and if we've let you down, if we haven't communicated enough, then we'll strive to do better. One of the challenges we face as a small financial institution is we have a very small number of financial advisors. So when one leaves, and we've had one leave this year, we had one leave last year, it's about 20% of our workforce in that specific area. So it does have a significant impact. We work very hard with the members once an advisor leaves. We can't control them leaving. They leave for different reasons, different circumstances. And when you only have 4 or 5, again, losing one has an impact. But again, I totally agree, we need to communicate better. I think particularly given the volatile markets we're facing today, we understand that members want to have advice and conversations about their investments when we're in a period of very volatile equity markets and bond markets, so we'll continue to strive better to do that. Oh, I lost it. I'll make one up. Okay, so it's about First Calgary. Any news on your new building? So it's something we've, just a little background. In our location on 16th Avenue, we purchased the land across the street about 6 years ago with the intention of relocating our branch. And the branch in our first in the 16th Avenue location, it's old, it was never designed as a branch. The intent was to build a new branch, free up office space. We had lots of challenges with the city. And the city, for those that know what's happened on 16th Avenue, they've widened it, they've beautified it, but in terms of our ability to build what we want to build, we simply wanted to build a branch with a drive-through for the benefit of our members. And believe it or not, we weren't allowed to do that. We had to build a 3-story building, which we didn't want a 3-story building. We weren't allowed to have a drive-through, and there's thousands of drive-throughs in Calgary. So because of that, we backed off. We waited for the last municipal election, thought and hoped things would change, they didn't change. So where we are today in terms of a building, in 16th Avenue where our administration building is, we're very constrained in terms of office space. We now have employees in 3 other buildings in the Calgary area, so it's certainly topical, top of mind. We're looking very much at saying, should we stay there? Should we renovate? Can we expand? Should we move to another location? Can we do something different? Partner with somebody maybe? So we're in those conversations now. And obviously we want to make sure that if we're going to spend money on administration, it's done well. There's an argument that this is exactly the time of the cycle where people should be investing. Labor's cheap, material's cheap, you get things done right and on time. But before we make the decision, we have to make sure that it's the right thing to do for now. There's lots of inefficiencies as well. We have people spread out in different areas. The building itself's not efficient, and we do really need a new branch for our members at 16th Avenue. It's our largest branch. So it's something, again, we continue to talk about, and as soon as we've made a decision, we'll be communicating that with the membership.
Thank you. Any other questions? Right here. Can you wait, we're going to mic over right away too, so we can all hear your question?
At the 2014 AGM when Chinook joined us, you had showed a branding cost. I can't remember how much it was, but it was fairly substantial. And I'd like to know if we met that goal. And secondly, also 50,000 people in Airdrie. I know brick and mortar is a huge problem. Is there ever a chance that that might change?
Well, let me start on the first one. I'll let you talk about Airdrie. So I'm not sure exactly. I know one thing we showed at that meeting was not so much rebranding, but sort of total integration costs, and we had a budget number on that. I can't remember what it was, but
3 million?
Yeah,
3.5.
I do know, and Paul can
3.5.
sharpen the pencil on this.
I
I know we were within that. We were actually incredibly pleased with how the integration went. And there's a lot of challenges and a lot of anxiety when it comes to merging 2 very successful credit unions. And I mean, from my perspective, as being on the board, as being chair, I can't imagine a smoother process due to a huge amount of work that was done. But in terms of financially, and if you can add anything to this, we were within the cost that we expected for integrating the credit union. And for all intents and purposes, we are integrated now. There'll always be little things that we're looking at for our various regions, and we intend on, if there's a reason to be different within our various regions, we're going to do that. But for all intents and purposes, we are integrated, and we did it within budget.
Okay, so Airdrie. First Calgary actually had a branch in Airdrie back in the 90s. One of the things about the credit union system of Alberta, and historically it's been this way, less so today, but typically credit unions that have been in a geographic region for a long time, we will compete, but lots of times we think members can be served by that local credit. And that's what we've done with Chinook. We've kept the Chinook brand. For example, in most of our locations, a lot of our locations in Chinook, we're certainly the only credit union in every location, and some are the only financial institution. Airdrie has a credit union, Bow Valley Credit Union. They have 2 branches there. They're a fellow credit union. We swap information. Our members can do basic services at their locations. They can do it at ours. So in terms of expanding, we're somewhat reluctant to move into another credit union's territory. Working with Bow Valley in terms of better member service and for their members when they come to Calgary, we as Alberta credit unions, and there are about 25 credit unions now in Alberta, we want to work together. We understand that Airdrie and Cochrane and Chestermere, a lot of those communities have people that come to Calgary, bank perhaps with us in downtown in one of the areas, and go home to those satellite communities. In terms of branching strategy today, we're really focused on the city of Calgary. Our expansion plans, though, are Where there's a community that doesn't have a credit union that would be a potential merger partner, that's where we're looking to expand. But where there is somebody, and again, Bow Valley is a good example, 2 branches for that community, those are 2 branches well situated for credit unions, people that want to bank with a credit union. Can we work better with them, help our members that are going to try and bank or want to bank in their community, or maybe in their community as well as in Calgary? We can certainly work with them. But in terms of expansion, our first choice would be to to look at a community that didn't have an existing credit union there already.
Okay, any other questions?
Oh, we've got this one right
Keep
here.
going.
Not a question, but just a comment. Paul and Ron, I want to thank you most sincerely for your dedicated and diligent work. Now, the regional president's reports, Scott, I think it was Scott Hayden, and Shelley. Shelley, that was a whoop-de-doo. Forgot.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate the thank you. Okay, and this is another comment. This must be the comment section. So the comment, if I recall, was thank you very much for the live stream. It's working great. Am I got that right? So it's working, which is great.
Okay, well, thank you for those comments
Yeah, thanks,
very much. Thank you for your questions. Just one last opportunity. Anybody else? If not, we're going to move to the last couple segments of our program. So give me a second to get back up on stage. Well, thank you for those questions. That was good. We want questions, and you guys are the owners. We're sitting here tonight, and 100,000 members. We own this credit union 100%. As Paul mentioned, we have no conflicts of interest. We have no other shareholders. That everything we should do, and I think everything we do as a credit union, is for the benefit of our members. So we appreciate your questions, and we appreciate you being here tonight. So. One of the very special things about our credit union, and Shelley and Scott talked about some of the initiatives, but what I believe is one of the very special things about this particular credit union is the work we do in our communities. And we are very pleased to share another short video with you that highlights just a few of our many community-based activities.
Making money make a difference. In 2015, Connect First Credit Union invested $1,058,096, 2,884 employee hours in community initiatives. We also listened to you, to our leaders, and most importantly, to our communities. We set out to learn 3 key things. Where are the biggest local needs? Where can a credit union make the most meaningful impact with our funds, time, and talent? Where do the biggest community wins and business wins collide and help tell our story?
choice was to talk to one of the paid related services in town, but I ended up paying $2,400 as interest on $600.
If we can find financial products within our core business that allow people to meet their short-term credit needs, that helps a lot of people who have a very serious poverty and out of the clutches of predatory lenders.
We have a unique opportunity to help individuals get out of debt.
I love that First Calgary, as a local credit union, is at the forefront amongst financial institutions in doing this kind of work. Together, we can help reduce poverty in our city.
I'm always proud of the level of volunteerism amongst our staff. They're always out and about in our communities, and you can always find them out there. It's the first thing that people tell me.
Being at Chinook has helped me to be able to actually help other people out more than just on my own.
We want our community to know that we're here to support them. We volunteer as often as we can.
It's the credit union difference. It's what makes us different. And if our members want us there, we're going to be there.
So the Theater of Free Young Audiences program that Chinook has sponsored allows schools to come to Rosebud, experience our Opera House shows. Chinook assists us by providing sponsorship opportunities so that the cost of the schools isn't as great.
I just went to the theater and watched the play. I never been to the theater before. I get to see people sing and have fun. It's exciting because I don't get to go very often. Thank you, Shana.
A portion of that money will be going to support people who've experienced a loss of their identification, banking cards, things that will help them with a new start. When we first met with the Chinook financial representatives, it was wonderful. We had discussed a lot of different ideas on how we can work together to help people.
We're getting involved by helping women in need, giving them financial advice, and offering them financial assistance.
We're also committed to staying grassroots and locally relevant. All our branches have access to community funds for local investments. This fills critical local support needs in the communities we live and work in.
I remember a few years ago us sitting down and saying, we should use videos more, not only to communicate to our members, but even within the credit union to communicate with our employees. And so we're doing a lot of that now, and I think it's incredibly effective. So I want to thank the group that was responsible for putting together all the videos tonight and all the great things they do. That includes Allison, Jeffrey, sitting right here, Megan, and Terry. So let's give them a round of applause. Okay, so we're almost there. I'm going to announce our 10 door prize winners. And the 10 winners, if you're here, you're going to get $100 cash deposited into your credit union account. So if you hear your name, we need somebody. Where's Suzanne? Suzanne is going to appear momentarily. There she is. Okay, so if you hear your name, make sure you identify yourself to Suzanne, because we have to make arrangements to get this door prize deposited into your account. And apologies in advance for some of the pronunciation of some of these names. So I know I'm going to do a bad job. So our first winner tonight is, and we're doing it by name. You filled out these cards when you came in, hopefully. So the first one is Irma Betcher. There she is. So make sure you identify yourself to Suzanne later this evening. Get your $100. All right. Jan Raskowski. There we are. Congratulations. That's two. Okay, I can do this one. Wanda Wong. Is Wanda here? Okay, well, I'll set that aside just for a minute, and we've got a couple additional ones. So Devinder Minhas. Devinder here? Okay, congratulations. Okay, Brenda Bognian? Bognian? Bognian. Okay, there we are. Congratulations. Jody Hodgson. Okay, this next one. Hillary Monroe. Is Hillary here? There? Nothing like a door prize to keep you here right till the last. I think that's the whole idea. Hoot Kuhn. Congratulations. That's her name. Yeah, surname. While we're waiting on that one, Jenny Dick. Okay, I'm going to try one-to-one one more time. Okay. Put that aside. Jeff Slate? There we are. Oh, you're lucky. The way you wrote your last name, I'm not sure you. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to do one more because we had one that wasn't here. Celia Harper. There we are. Congratulations, everybody. Okay, so Suzanne's over there. Make sure you make yourself known to her. Get your $100. And we have one final order of business, and that's a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. So may I have a mover and a seconder to make that motion? Please.
Norm Christensen, Shaughnessy 114. I move to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Norm. Do we have a seconder?
Jolene Camp, Branch 105, I second the motion.
Jolene, thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you very much. Have a good night. And stick around. We'll be happy to spend some time chatting with you. And Courtney is here. Can you come up and see us at the podium, Courtney? Yeah.